Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby. We've got Aiden. We've got a bit of a doom and gloom, Aiden. But in the past 5 minutes, we've got a doom and gloom casual as well. Because of that noise, which is the most frustrating thing in the world. But anyway, we'll keep on going. Aiden, I know you're a bit doom and gloom because of the work and everything. But overall, how are you doing, my brother?
Yeah, I'm good. Life's busy. You just got to keep trucking along, rolling with the punches every now and then, but that's fine. You know, this is my little sanctuary, getting online and getting to talk about rugby and waiting for the round ahead and obviously recapping the round that we've just had as well. So, look, this is my happy place. Let's get into it. I'm excited.
Yeah, it was a massive round, right? Like, we've seen some results have been scintillating. I don't have the table in front of me, but I do have the results and everything. Can you get the table up in front of you?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool. Because we're starting off with a Fiji game against the Blues, the Fiji and Drua game against the Blues. And I sent you a message during this game, right? This was pure dominance. Like, this scoreline could have been even more. And we talked about it. If the Blues hit some form, they're going to be a scary team. The way that they played this game, Beauden Barrett is a man on a mission at the moment. He's screaming for that number 10 jersey. Played absolutely brilliant rugby. And the Drua is a very, very tough team to beat. I know whether it's at the stadium where they have the great record or whatever, right? If you play in Fiji, it's a tough team to beat. And the Blues made it look easy. Really easy.
Yeah, I mean, we both predicted that they would win. I don't think either of us thought it would be that comfortable. They just did really well at shutting down that Fijian style. They didn't let the game get broken apart. The Blues are a team, in recent years anyways, that thrive off set-piece dominance and just sort of out-muscling you in the forward pack. And they didn't allow the game to get broken up like it can do against the Drua. And when that happens, you know, you see these ridiculous tries from absolutely anywhere on the pitch. And the Blues stopped that. And as you said, they made it look routine. They made it look easy. And, you know, as much as I dislike the Blues personally, they played incredibly well. And, you know, Beauden Barrett it's like he's got a second wind or something. It's like he's hitting his second prime. He wants those.
Which is a scary thought going into international season as well.
Yeah, he wants 2015, 2017 Beauden Barrett to come back.
No, he's just absolutely running the game at the moment. And to be fair, all the Blues players have started to step up. I think it's kind of got to that realization where it's like, if we don't perform, we're fucked, right? And you can't be defending champions like that. And the thing is, they kind of give me that feeling of, I don't know how much you would know when I say this, but like Munster, where it's, if they go through, if they get 6th spot, right, everyone else is in trouble. Because whether it's home or away, you know, Rugby Heritage needs a good blue team. They've been there, they've done it before, they're defending champions. So if they end up in 6th, number one will be shitting themselves. Whether that's the Chiefs, the Brumbies, the Crusaders, whatever you want to say, it's not a walkover victory by any stretch of the imagination. And if you get this Blues team that's hitting form, would you put it past them to even go further and further and further then?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a dangerous team, and that win puts them at 5th in the moment. They're a game in hand, so they're a game ahead of a few of the other teams. The Hurricanes and Moana Pacifica mainly directly below them with a game to spare, so they'll probably catch up most likely. But look, for me, it's between the Blues and Moana Pacifica really is the decider. And I know we'll talk about that coming up shortly. But like, yeah, as you say, if they sneak into that 5th or 6th spot, which they can very well do, then yeah, you got to be on red alert if you're one of the teams playing them. And so anything can really happen, and they are a dangerous team because when they play well, they could beat anyone in the comp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's just move on to the next one. I'm pretty sure you don't want to give the Blues too much credit, but they were brilliant. Scary team. You should be afraid. You've already lost to them twice.
Exactly. I know more than anyone this season.
Yeah. Anyway, we had the Waratahs taking on the Reds, and I told you it's going to be the off weekend. The Waratahs getting it done. the Reds getting it done at the end. Trailing the whole game, by the way. But my boys, I said this is a massive victory. If we get this one, we'll be happy, right? Because this obviously puts a bit of a gap now when it comes to the table. 28 points to 21. Massive. Absolutely massive. I'm happy. I'll take that.
Yeah, my dark horses. It makes it tough for them. They still can get in the top 6.
But it's
It is
highly unlikely.
It's a very tough finish for the Waratahs. And yeah, the Reds just clinched. I think it was like a 76, 77-minute try. Just stuck in it, really. Just, sometimes it's not a pretty performance.
The Waratahs looked very good at the start of the game. I was thinking the Reds are not up for this. The physical dominance that the Waratahs had was crazy. You could see that.
It wasn't great that obviously Stuart Aliti came off with that head knock. Not brilliant. Hopefully he's okay. Mainly for the Wallabies more than anything, because it was a pretty nasty head knock to his own player.
I heard something about 5 weeks because it's a broken jaw or something. If he was Antoine Dupont, he would have been back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I just want him to be fit for the Lions series, I'll be honest. So,
yeah,
like the Waratahs have enough good players to replace him. It is a tough loss because he's been one of, if not their best player this season. He's had a few injuries this season as well. So, bit of a what if there. But other than that, you just got to credit the Reds for sticking in it. They won ugly, but they won, and that's all that really matters.
Well, that's how you know, right? There's I wouldn't say this cliche saying, but it's a popular saying of like good teams know how to win even if they're playing bad, right? I don't even want to say the Reds played bad. The Waratahs pitched up, but the Reds just knew how to get the victory in the end. Massive victory away from home.
Yeah, pretty much. And as I said, for table, that's pretty important there. They're 5 points clear of the Blues, 6 points clear of the Hurricanes right now in 4th spot.
Which gives them a buffer.
Yeah, it does. Right. So it means they can afford to lose a game coming in, even if either the Blues or the Hurricanes don't lose a game coming in. So yeah, well, mainly the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes could finish above them, but if the Reds only lose one of their next few games, maybe against the Hurricanes, they should still be in the top 6. So it gives them that little buffer to be a bit more comfortable. If they need to rest a few players, they probably could. But yeah, it's just that little bit of comfort, that little blanket over them that says you're probably going to make the top 6.
Yeah. Then we went on to the Saturday games. Crusaders versus the Chiefs. Both of us called for the Crusaders to get the victory on this one.
Yeah.
They came out onto the field with an absolute stormer, right? Like they started off so well. And then the Chiefs just kind of let it rip. And they played some brilliant rugby. And I saw the quote that came out after they lost last week. Who did they lose to last week? The Chiefs. Oh, yeah. Where they had to just sit in silence and listen to the Hurricanes players celebrating.
Yeah.
Right? Tough love sometimes works.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's not a nice sound for you to hear. And then there you go. Over the Crusaders, who's batting for that first spot with you. Away from home, 35 points to 19. He'll take that all day long.
Yeah, do you know what it was? It was almost a mirror image of the game the Chiefs played against the Hurricanes, where the Chiefs were better in the first 40 against the Hurricanes, and then the Hurricanes absolutely blitzed them in the second half to win the game. This week, the Crusaders were ridiculously good in the first half, and the Chiefs were holding on, I thought. And when I was watching it initially, I was like, man, the Chiefs are going to have to change something, or they might get smoked here because the Crusaders look brilliant. And then whatever was said at halftime worked wonders because they came out a new team and just tore the Crusaders to shreds. The amount of points
started playing some rugby again.
What's that?
D-Mac started playing some rugby again. He saw that Bodie performance and knew he had to put up his socks as well.
Yeah, that competition for the 10 jersey is insane because, when you said about Bodie earlier, I was thinking, damn, D-Mac stood up too. He was brilliant in that game. His kicking was excellent. His passing was excellent, putting players in space. I think he scored himself as well.
He's been playing some class rugby as well. That's putting up his hands for the All Blacks, right? Seeing that Talaya might be going. I'm not too sure how long he still has in the All Black jersey with that news. Narawa, guys playing some proper rugby on the wing as well for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Would you fancy him in a All Blacks jersey again? I know obviously he's had a couple of caps, but Like he's
Yeah,
falling down the pecking order.
yeah. I think he just again, New Zealand wings are. It's probably the area we are the best at producing players in the world. Just repetitively, there are always so many good wingers to choose from, and it's unfortunate that maybe if you don't watch Super Rugby or you're not a New Zealand rugby fan, that you wouldn't even hear of these players. But Emoni Narawa has been brilliant for like 3 seasons. And the only reason he hasn't been in the team is because he's behind Sever Reese, Mark Delia, Caleb Clark. Will Jordan was playing wing for a while as well. Like these superstar names that he just hasn't been able to break into the team. And I think this year, with a few downwards performance from maybe some of the others, he's definitely putting his name forward to take one of those spots. And I wouldn't be surprised or upset if he did take one of those wings.
Yeah. To be fair, he at least deserves to be in the running for the spot. He's been playing great. Like if you're going purely based on form, he's been great. Force versus the Brumbies. Brumbies once again just clinical, getting it done. We said it before, we'll say it again. They just keep on ticking along, just like this unstoppable force.
Yeah, I mean the Brumbies are. They're proving why they're the best team in Australia. And a lot of people would have said the Reds were pretty close to being the best team, but I think this season and the last season and the season before that have just shown that consistently these guys are one of the top teams. Look, if Moana Pacifica, who have been in brilliant form, managed to beat the Chiefs in one of the final games, it sets up for Brumbies to win or finish on top for the round robin. And honestly, wouldn't say that's a bad shout. I think they would thoroughly deserve it. It
would be a great thing for the Super Rugby if the Brumbies won it.
Yeah, it would be absolutely. And like I said to you last week, if they finish first, guarantees in the home game. And the Brumbies at home are really hard to beat. Like the Hurricanes, who beat them this year at home, it was historic. We hadn't done that since 2017. Like that is not a thing teams often do. So if they can nudge for that number 1 spot, then honestly, they're a really good shout to win the competition.
Yeah. No, it's good. And the fact of the matter is that we are most likely going to see 2 Australian teams in the top 6. Is it 2?
Yeah.
Which is good, right? And it doesn't feel like either one of them is like a write-off. Sometimes we see one of them going into the next round or something like that and feels like, let's say it's the Reds, they have to take on the Crusaders or the Chiefs or the Hurricanes, and it's like a write-off victory. But this season just feels different. Both teams been putting up their hands, even the likes of the Western Force, right? Like they've played decent rugby throughout the season. Obviously, haven't gotten the results. The Force, we said that they're a consistent team, right? They play some nice rugby. They can play. It's looking good for the Wallabies overall. So I'm more than happy with it. And if the Brumbies get through, I might just buy me a Brumbies jersey and support them to actually go and win it. Because it would just be great. How long ago as a Australian team won the Super Rugby? How many years?
2013, the Reds, I think, or maybe 2016, the Waratahs. It was either the Reds or the Waratahs that won it most recently, and it was a while ago.
You see, Quade Cooper era. That's a fair bit ago.
Yeah. It's been a while. But it'd be brilliant for the game. And as we said, the Brumbies would 100% deserve it. They have been so good for so long. And it baffles me why Larkham, rather, hasn't been nudged up to that Australian job.
But if you think about it, right? Imagine if the Brumbies, for instance, win the Super Rugby. Then they have a Lions tour. The confidence that they'll take into that, right? Because they've got their silverware now. It's been a long time since Australian rugby's got the silverware, whether it's the Wallabies or any of the Super Rugby teams. The confidence that they'll take into that, if they somehow get a victory there, and they have to, not somehow, I'm backing the Wallabies to get the victory in the British and Irish Lions, right? Let's say if they get a Super Rugby title, they get the British and Irish Lions. Why not fancy them for a rugby championship as well, right? The confidence that they'll take from that. Why not beat New Zealand twice, get a Bledisloe for the first time in how long? I'm just making examples, right?
Yeah, I know.
It's a game of momentum. Momentum is a big thing in rugby. Then all of a sudden, you're going to the 2027 World Cup with an Australian team that know what it tastes like to all of a sudden get the silverware, right? Hungry for more, hungry for the biggest prize of them all on home soil. Dude, this could be massive for the Wallabies. Just a bit of momentum.
Yeah, and it will inspire some of the younger kids that are, picking a sport to play in Australia to, instead of picking up league or picking up AFL, to jump into rugby, and that will be massive and scary for the rest of the world if Australian youth gets back involved with rugby, because they produce some of the best athletes of any rugby country in the world. They just don't have to...
in any sport, right? Like
Yeah.
they're probably the best at cricket in the world. They do fairly well when it comes to, for instance, athletics. We know how good they can be at rugby. For a smaller country, look at how good they are at football, for instance.
Yeah.
Like these guys, they know how to produce athletes, right?
Yeah,
So it could be massive for them.
100%.
Anyway, round 14, you ready?
Yeah.
Juicy, very juicy. Starting off with your team, Hurricanes versus the Islanders. Just can't see past Hurricanes victory, right? Brett Cameron back. What's your thoughts on that?
Love it. It was a bit upsetting at the start of the year. We had a lot of injuries, but it was frustrating as the injuries all seemed to be for key positions. And we hadn't tried Ruben Love at 10 at that point. Godfrey had come in. We didn't really know much about him other than he was playing 15 as well. He was pushed into 10, then he got injured. And Brett Cameron was brilliant last year. So it's lovely to have him back on the bench. Obviously, wouldn't want to be starting him straight away. Also, Ruben Love has really grown into that 10 role as well, which is really good for New Zealand rugby as well. So
is Harkin still the fullback for this one?
Harkin is still the fullback, and he's been brilliant this year. He has been an absolute find. To think that he was a last-minute pickup, he wasn't signed to any team this year whatsoever, and the Hurricanes picked him up, in preseason.
You'll take that.
Wow, what a steal that was. Yeah.
So what do you do with a fully fit Ruben Love, Godfrey, Harkin, and Brett Cameron?
I don't know. We went from having no players to having 4 really good ones, which is a much better problem to have. But yeah, I'm not sure how that'll go or where people will fit in. But I'm excited because you can be confident in all of them now, so you don't really have to worry about if someone gets injured.
It's that point where you're like, thank fuck I'm not the coach.
Yeah, exactly. Because you could see anyone start and go, yep, that's a good decision. You're not going to be upset if one person starts over the other, which is really good to see. But in relation to this game, look, I'm never going to discount the Highlanders, because even though the results haven't gone their way this year, other than 1 or 2 games, they've all been close. They've all been within like 7 points. They've been doing well on the bonus points. And that they never give up. Absolutely never. They've got some great players
in the fight, yeah.
So while I'm confident that the Hurricanes will win, I don't think it'll be easy at all. I think it'll be a grind. We've just got to play the way we want to play.
You reckon you get the bonus point out of this game? Bonus point would be massive.
I think it would be, but I don't think we will. As I said, I think the Highlanders have had some poor results in the past few weeks, and so they'll be raring to sort of kick back a bit and show a bit more fight, and I think they will. And I think it'll be actually kind of close. I would say the Hurricanes for me by 11 points, so nothing major. But I do think our team is almost back to full strength, and we've already seen the impact it's made for some of the key positions. Higgins at 12, Proctor at 13. Mate, they've been absolutely ridiculous.
I'm going to go a bit different than you. I'm going to back your team a bit more because of the fact that you need all the points you possibly can get at the moment. I'm going to go with the Hurricanes by about 20 points on this one. Playing at home, your defense has really picked up since Proctor's come back, even right before Proctor's come back. Kind of since you called out the defense, it's gotten better, right? They've seen the harsh criticism. The attack has looked great. You've got your big names back. You need the points. Give me the Hurricanes by 20 points and to get the bonus point.
I love it. I love to hear it. I hope you're right.
Yeah. Well, this is not in terms of writing off the Islanders. As I mentioned, they always find a way to stay in the fight. But I just think when it comes to like this business end of the season, the Hurricanes, they know exactly what needs to be done. Anyway.
Yeah, we've been there before, so just got
the Crusaders.
Learn from. Yeah.
It's the on week.
Yeah. It is. And they're at home. Honestly, I don't know.
I'm going to back the on week.
Rugby Heritage, it's on week. Let's go. I'm with you. Rugby Heritage, Waratahs to... they've lost a lot of key players. Actually, I disagree. I know they're my dark horse. I take it back. I'm going to go Crusaders, even without
How
some
many
of
key
their...
players are they missing?
Sua'ali'i, and then obviously for the Crusaders, it'll be Will Jordan's not there either. So
How do you feel about that one?
What? No, Will Jordan. He's not out for too long, thank God.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I would have been pretty pissed off because I just like him for the Crusaders, but I need him in my All Blacks team. He's maybe one of the best players on the team.
No, yeah, I'm gonna still back the on week. Give me the on week.
Wow, for the sake of disagreeing and keeping it interesting, give me the Crusaders just to get an ugly win, a dirty like 7-point win over the Waratahs in a medium scoring game. Like, give me 31-24.
Okay, no, I'm going Waratahs by 5. Just for the vibes. Like, the Crusaders obviously on paper the better team. But no Will Jordan is obviously a massive loss. Same as Sua'ali'i, but home ground. We've seen the Waratahs do this literally every single round of the Super Rugby. They've bounced back. Just found a way to bounce back. So let's go Waratahs to get the victory on that one.
Yeah.
Feels a bit stupid, but also doesn't. I don't know. Saturday game. Fiji and Drua taking on the Force. Where's this one being played?
Lautoka.
Okay, Drua, thank you.
Yep.
Roll back the Drua.
Yeah, they could beat the prime 2015 All Blacks at Lautoka if they wanted to.
Yeah. Bro, no, this Drua team, just they're unstoppable at Lautoka. I just can't see how they lose this game. The Force, they've been struggling lately. Like, they've got no momentum on their side at the moment. The Drua know how to get it done at home.
Yeah, no Carlo Chisano either for the Force.
Yeah.
So
that bugger absolutely nailed me for the second time this season, not playing when I have him captain.
Yeah. Did you captain him? Oh, my God.
I co-captain Bowden Barrett.
Oh, that's
so
okay.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I didn't captain him, but he was in my team. And I didn't know that. I was watching the game. And then there was a rolling maul try, and number 7 scored. I'm like, boom, there we go. Carlo Chisano is in. And then he came up from the try. I'm like, that's not Carlo Chisano. Where's he playing? I checked the thing. Is X 0 points. I went, you bastard. He's not even playing the game.
They should give us like a super sub. So if one guy's injured, they can just come on.
Yeah, I had terrible. Will Jordan got injured. It was in my team. Joseph Sua'ali'i in my team, injured. And then Carlo Chisano. Not even playing.
Mine too. Yeah, mine too. And I'm already struggling. Like, this is not the first time. Like, I set my team and I just chill. Because I'm just making sure everyone starts. And this is like the 4th time that I've picked someone and they don't play. We had David Arvili do the same thing.
Yeah. Anyways.
Frustrating.
The biggest game of the weekend next.
Saucy. What are we doing? Moana versus the Blues. Be non-biased.
When I say this is actually the most important game too, by the way, because these two are, assuming other results go how they theoretically should, this is a fight for the 6th place spot. Between Moana and the Blues. Whoever wins this game is likely to be number 6. Making the playoffs, and the other one is likely to be number 7 and missing out. So it's on the big name players. And even being unbiased, who do I think is going to stand up? Adi Savea is going to stand up. That guy is crazy good. But then I also think Bowden Barrett's going to stand up. So you kind of have 2 superstars going at it against each other.
Let me say,
I think Moana Pacifica are just riding the high a bit better. Like, the Blues have bounced back big time. But I think there's so much on the line for Moana that they could go for a historic season. And I think they're going to elevate to that level. It could sort of crush them a little bit, the weight of that expectation and hope to make the playoffs for the first time. But I'm going to believe. I choose to believe. I'm getting a Moana Pacifica jersey. I have to believe.
Oh, the sexy one.
Yeah, the heritage one. Yeah, I don't know why it's not here yet. I thought it would be here. I was hoping to do this video with it on, but I can't. So give me Moana Pacifica and a nail biter, a proper nail biter. Moana by 2 points.
I would want Moana to win this more than anything. I would like the Blues to also go through, but I want Moana to do it more. But I'll back the Blues. I'm gonna back the Blues to get it done. Their bounce back has been crazy. They've been playing some great rugby. Obviously, Adi Survey, you can talk about that, but then you can mention the big names for the Blues as well. Bowden Barrett, Rico Ioane, Mark Talaya, Dalton Papali'i, right? Oscar Tutu needs a big performance. I mean, defending champ of Super Rugby Player of the Season needs a big performance against the likes of Adi Surveyor. The thing that kind of makes me doubt it is the fact that it's being played at home for Moana.
Yeah, it's still in Auckland though. It's not really traveling.
Oh,
yeah, like
okay.
Moana play at North Harbour Stadium and the Blues play at Eden Park. They're like 30 minutes apart.
Okay, so it's a home game for the Blues as well. Then
yeah, there will be. Yeah, that's just a home game for both, realistically.
Okay, Blues to do it then. Give me the Blues by 4 points. I agree with the nail biter. But once again, I can't be hypocritical. I said it before. They've been there. They've done it. They know what it is in these big games where Moana doesn't necessarily. I'm backing the Blues. Give me the Blues by 4 points. And then you have a little derby.
Yeah, good end to the week.
Brumbies taking on the Reds. I've said I'm going to back the Reds every single week. But I'm not going to back them this one.
Yeah.
Because the Brumbies know that they've got a chance to top the table.
Yeah, it's massive. It's a massive opportunity for the Brumbies here. And honestly, they've just looked so clinical. I said how the forwards like to sort of be real aggressive off the set piece and dominate the game up front. The Brumbies do it as well. They're really good at starving you of possession, playing to the corners, and just giving themselves opportunities inside your 22 with a line-out drive or a quick ball to the wing where they have those rapid speedsters and Andy Muirhead and Corey Toole who can just dot it down before you can blink. And yeah, I just think it runs a little bit deeper for the Brumbies, especially at home. I mean, it's not the craziest atmosphere at GIO Stadium. It's not the craziest amount of people there, but they just seem to turn up a lot more when they play there. And I don't know, the Reds could shock, surprise. And
of course. I've got it as a tight game, a feisty game. I see a bit of argy-bargy coming out in that game. But I just think the physicality of the Brumbies is a bit better, in my opinion. And I also think the backline is more dangerous than
I think across the park they just have a bit more oomph to them in all areas. Like it's not much, it's not a big difference, but you just see there's a bit more quality sprinkled out that team in the Brumbies than perhaps the Reds, especially with the injuries the Reds have as well. Obviously, still no Harry Wilson, I don't think. No Harry Wilson. Yeah, no Harry Wilson in there, but you've got Fraser McWright, so it's still there. But yeah, I just think they'll pull away with it in the end. I think the Brumbies will be a close game for 60, 65 minutes, and then the Brumbies will just sort of eke away in that last 15 and maybe take it to an 8 to 10 point win.
I fully agree. That brings us to the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
People, please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We do appreciate you guys. Go show Aiden some love on TikTok as well. And we will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Ciao.
Bye.
One.